Welcome to West Country Wanderings and welcome to another one in my Cornwall series. Today we're in the South East town of Liskeard. Yes, you can hear the seagulls, although we're some miles from the sea. We're about 10 miles north of the seaside resort of Laer, just to the foothills of Bodmin Moor lies up there. The name though, Liskeard, the first part of it, L-I-S, means court, and it gives an indication of what this place was in the 8th century. King Donard, or sometimes known as King Donard, commanded this place, and it was here in this town where he held his court. We're here early on a Saturday morning so I can avoid the noise of the traffic, so apologise for the artificial lighting and the colour artefacts, but we're going to have a look around this interesting town because it often gets overlooked by tourists, and I think that's a real shame because there's much of interest here. So I hope you can join me again here on West Country Wanderings in Liskeard. Now I'm just outside the local Weatherspoons, which is actually called the King Donard, and it's because he was the last independent king of Cornwall, which makes this town rather special indeed. But yeah, it's good that the name lives on here in Weatherspoons. Next to the Weatherspoons though is Stuart House, which is now an arts and heritage centre. If you ever come to Liskeard, I highly recommend a visit here. It was here in the 17th century that King Charles once stayed. It has a wonderful inner courtyard as well. Courtyard there has actually been beautifully restored, has also very recently been restored. Liskeard Library. This has been empty for, I think about 2 or 3 years. Now it's been wonderfully restored with a cafe inside it. So really nice library there. Often these days libraries have been closed down or they've been assigned to smaller buildings and moved out of town, but not the case here at Liskeard. We're walking out now towards what was Webb's Hotel. It's now known as Webb's House, and it used to be the home of the local newspaper, which was, or is, should I say, the Cornish Times. Their offices have now moved, well, a lot of it's working from home, isn't it? They also share the offices with the nearby Cornish Post, which is based in the town of Launceston, some 15 miles north of here. The other good thing about Liskeard is that it's well served by buses to places like Plymouth, over the border in Devon of course, and places like Launceston, even the village of Polperro, which I hope to do on a future episode here at West Country Wanderings, because Polperro is really difficult to get to because it has a very expensive car park, so it's a good option to come here, catch a train to Liskeard and then catch the bus into Polperro to avoid those high parking charges and congestion too. So yeah, this is Webb's Hotel just alongside here. There it is in all its fantastic grandeur. In the centre of the square here, opposite Webb's house, is this wonderful water fountain which was given to the town by the mayor in 1875, one Matthew Loam, in tribute of his father, Mr. Loam. I've forgotten his first name, I'll put that in below, but yeah, so that is Loam's water fountain there, and it's wonderful because you've got all these beds of flowers around it. There's also a bit of wall bombing been going on there with the lampposts too. Now Liskeard is at the heart of a large agricultural community. It's the heart of the South East Cornwall. Again, the entire area, this part of Cornwall, gets overlooked by tourism. And again, I think that's a shame. They go to places like Laer and Polperro, but miss the hinterland. Not that many visitors go to Bodmin Moor. I have actually done a separate video about Bodmin Moor, looking at these circles of stones there, the hurlers separate. We're now walking down Pike Street, which will take us to both the museum and the Guildhall, both stunning buildings. I think you'll agree. Well, we'll just have a look at those. Neither of them open at the moment, but the museum is well worth looking at. Tells you a lot of the history of the town. There's something really interesting outside of the museum itself, particularly if you follow my railway series. I don't know if you can see that down there. These are set markers, and they were used to denote an area around a mine, an area that could be mined, of course. And that is how this town got its wealth. In the latter part of the 18th century and throughout the 19th century, the town grew a lot after its decline in the Middle Ages. So because of the wealth coming from the moors, the town came expanded. But these set markers here were used to denote the sets of the mine, but they're also used as railway mileposts by the Liskeard and Carridon Hill Railway, which went from the top of Bodmin Moor into the lower part of the town at Moorswater. Part of that line is still used today. It is now the Liskeard to Loo branch line. So that there is the town's museum. It was formerly the Masonic Lodge House, but there is still several Masonic lodges. I think this is town which has more Masonic lodges than any other town in England. I think there's about 9 or 10, quite amazing. And the most recent one was only established back in 2014. But yes, so Foresters Hall, Masonic Lodge, dating from 1896, and you can see it's in that very distinctive late Victorian Gothic style. But also down Pike Street we have another incredible building. And it's this building. This is the magnificent Guildhall with its illuminated clock. I just love this. Is my favourite building here in Liskeard. It's truly wonderful. Let's see if we can get a shot of it from a different angle, just as the sun is rising on this early Saturday morning. Down through where you see that archway and the hanging baskets, just to the left of the chippy there, is the entrance to the pipe well. There was also a jail in this area as well, the well room. But we're just going to go down the slope there to have a look at the pipe well. I just feel this little alleyway here leading to the pipe well has so much character to it. So this is the pipe well in Liskeard, never known to have run dry. Now, there is, if you go into Stewart House and into the cafe there and around the little displays, if you ask one of the curators there, they will show you a tunnel. And it's believed that the tunnel comes out here in the pipe well itself. So what you have is 4 lead pipes. I'll see if I can get a shot that I took a couple of days ago of these pipes when it was lighter. It's always difficult going around towns when you've got lots of traffic noise. But hey, we've actually just got the sound of the water coming out of the ground here, which it has done, of course, for centuries. These gates, incidentally, were erected here in the mid of the 19th century, and legend has it that it has lots of properties to do with health and well-being, although there is a sign saying that the water is completely unfit for drinking. Through the gates though, if you do go through the gates, they are occasionally opened by the museum. There is a granite trough there, which was used originally back in the 17th and early 18th centuries for the townsfolk bringing their animals to market to drink after their long journey here. Now there is a really good sign outside. It tells you more history about the wells here, including the fact in 1889 there was a well-known circus troupe called Sanger Circus, which performed everywhere in Great Britain, from John O'Groats to Land's End. And when they came here to the town of Liskeard, they watered their horses in the troughs there. And you can see that in this wonderful photograph there from 1889. And horses commanded from the First World War were also watered at the pipe well before their long journey into France. Now the building behind me here is thought to be the town's jail, although later on it was used as a storage rooms. You can actually see the old doors on the top of there. You can also see a crane that was used to swing probably things like flour in there for storage for use in the town itself. But yeah, it's good to see that. Now another thing that I really like is this original shop sign for Hammond Hurley, who were watchmakers and jewellers in the town here. Today it's now a shoe shop. Good to see still that the town has lots of independent shops. There is H.E. Goldsworthy, which has been going for years and years, which is a great ironmonger shop. That's an old phrase, isn't it? Ironmongers. We've even got a electrical shop in the town here, HBH Woodcott's. There is a co-op in the town, and there's even a large post office, probably one of the largest surviving post office in the whole of Cornwall. Now, Lieutenant Lapeter lived locally in the nearby village of Menheniot, and he actually rode on horseback for 36 hours between the Cornish port of Falmouth all the way into London, and it was to tell Admiralty about the Battle of Trafalgar, which took place, I think it was the 21st of October 1805. So yeah, he rode all the way. I think he changed horses numerous times, but there is a plaque here opposite Webb's house to tell you about that. So the town is full of large buildings like this one here, again built on the wealth that was created from the mining just up the road, if you like, on Bodmin Moor. I often feel that the town gets a lot of bad press, and I'm not sure entirely I know the reason for that. Obviously it's not a coastal town. There is no beach here, of course. The beach is only a 30-minute train ride away because Liskeard has a mainline railway station, which makes it very convenient for transport to places like Plymouth and Truro. So I'm just glad to kind of reset the balance on this little video here today, which is also where my daughter lives as well. So it's good to be able to share my daughter's hometown with you here on West Country Wanderings. We have this wonderful hall here. We've now got a public hall behind us as well. So we've got the Guild Hall and a terrific public hall and the Freemasons Lodge, all amazing buildings in this small town here in South East Cornwall. I have one more thing to show you, really point out the town. There's much here. There's gardens here, there's Westbourne Gardens. Also, I forgot to mention that Liskeard once had a castle. There is Castle Grounds, which is just behind St Martin's Church. Again, I don't have time to show you that either. St Martin's Church is actually the second largest parish church in Cornwall. But Liskeard also had the cattle market, like many towns did, like places like Helston and right up in Camelford. They're all long gone now, but the one in Liskeard actually closed. The latest, it didn't even close until 2017, and the site has now been completely redeveloped. And I just wanted to show you around that here. Another thing I really like is this wonderful tile mosaic, which is outside the town's co-op, and I think it features Treaty Coit, Q-U-O-I-T, which is up on Bodmin there. It's also got an engine house you can just see there with a blue sky and white fluffy clouds. I think that's absolutely terrific. It's been there a few years now, not sure the year it was actually erected, but wonderful centrepiece in the town of Liskeard. So just behind the Spar shop on the corner opposite King Doniart Weatherspoons, you had the cattle market, and it was just off to the left of where I am now. This site here, which was derelict for many, many years, has been completely transformed. Got a wonderful sunrise there, but a burst of fire behind my head there. That's tremendous. I just love that light. I just took a photo of that with there. And it's this building here, which is now used for office space for the town, for more start-up businesses to encourage enterprise and to boost the economy in this town here in South East Cornwall. But yeah, this is a tremendous site here. And I see from this sign here that at 10 a.m. today, there we go, there is going to be a local food market at 10 o'clock, which is going to be taking place on the site of the former cattle market under here, which is really good to have this facility in the town. And that is under that building there, which is more or less where the cattle market shed originally stood. That's not the original one, it hasn't been restored or anything, but it was where it was. I do remember coming here in the 1980s, and this was the main car park for the town. And on market day, you wouldn't be able to get a space. There was lots of hustle and bustle in the town here. Don't have that today with the market, but it's good to see that the old building here has been completely restored. Oh, there's that wonderful sky here. There's lots of places to eat in Liskeard. Lots of the Fat Frog is a cafe I've been to many times with my daughter here in the town. But I can highly recommend this place is in front of me. This is the Liskeard Community Centre, which was formerly part of a school, and it's a wonderful vegetarian cafe. So if you like me and vegetarian, I can highly recommend it. It's not at the moment. We're not even at 8 o'clock at the moment here. And yeah, so this is just over here, and it serves absolutely delicious homemade fresh food cooked on the premises. It has a very extensive menu, which is absolutely tremendous, and it's really, really good value for money as well. So yes, this is the Hub Vegetarian Cafe here. Highly recommended. You'll find it at the end of the car park. So if you have a look at that marketplace, a cattle market, what I just showed you, walk to the end of the car park, across a little narrow lane, and you can't miss it there. There are signs in the car park for it as well. I hope you have enjoyed this little tour of the town of Liskeard, which I recommend a visit. It's well worth stopping off, even if it's just for an afternoon, to have a wander around this town. As I say, it does get overlooked, and I'm happy to restore the balance here today on YouTube. My two top tips, apart from eating in this place here, I'm going to have to show you more of this sky as I walk around, because it's absolutely tremendous. Just over, you'll see St Martin's Church there. There's St Martin's Church. I say that's the biggest parish church, or second biggest, should I say, in the whole of Cornwall. So it's really tremendous with that burst of fire sunrise here in Liskeard. Don't forget to check out Stuart House, which is where Charles I stayed. It has that magnificent garden, and they serve cream teas in there. So when that's open, and if you come here, don't miss that. It's really, really tremendous. You won't believe your eyes when you walk into that garden. It's a wonderful sight, and it often gets overlooked. They don't get that many visitors. It's well worth an exploring there, as indeed is the museum there. It's a lively museum with lots of surprises inside. I can't recommend that. So why not check out Liskeard in Cornwall? You won't regret it. Till next time on West Country Wanderings, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, and I hope to see you on the channel again very, very soon. All the best for now. Bye-bye.